Now let's do some operations with I. If I take negative 3i times 2i, well, negative 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. And then I times I, well, that's I squared. And I squared is negative 1, so I got negative 6 times negative 1, which is just 6. So negative 3i times 2i is 6. Let's take a look at the next one. I'll do the same thing. The square root of negative 12 is I times the square root of 12 times I times the square root of 2. Well, I times I is I squared times the square root of 24. Well, let's break the square root of 24 down. That's the square root of 4 times the square root of 6. So the square root of 4 is 2. The square root of, or not the square root, I squared is negative 1. And then times the square root of 6. So we get negative 2 square root of 6. So negative 12 times negative square root of 2 is negative 2 square roots of 6. Okay, let's solve an equation. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to solve it like we normally do. I'm going to subtract 20 from both sides first. Bring down the 5y squared. Notice negative 20 plus 20 is 0 equals negative 20. Now we'll divide both sides by 5. We'll get y squared equals negative 4. I take the square root of both sides, just like we solve any equation. So y equals plus or minus negative square root of 4. Remember, I can rewrite the square root of negative 4 as I times the square root of 4. Well, the square root of 4 is 2, so I'm going to say y then is plus or minus 2i. Anytime you see a square root of negative 1, that's just I. A complex number is we're just going to put a union between our real numbers and our imaginary numbers. So a complex number has a real part and it has an imaginary part. That imaginary part could be positive, it could be negative, it could be anything. But that's what it is. So complex number is just a combination of real and imaginaries.